For a split second, the entire room froze. The envelope was open. The words were read. Asterisk, and suddenly, a name echoed through the Crypto.com arena that nobody expected to hear in 22.6. Luther Vandross. Asterisk at first. People weren't sure if they heard it right. Asterisk, because Luther Vandross has been gone for nearly 20 years. Asterisk, but in that surreal moment. At the 2026 Grammy Awards, it felt like time folded in on itself. Cher had just announced Record of the Year. And somehow, a legend who passed away in 2005 had won it. Asterisk, the cameras caught it all. The confusion. The shock. The split-second silence before laughter rippled through the crowd. Cher's eyes widened, her voice rising as realization hit her. Asterisk, no. Kendrick Lamar. The correction came fast, loud, and completely on brand. Kendrick Lamar and SZA, real winners, stood up almost hesitantly, unsure whether to laugh, clap, or just let the moment happen. Because this wasn't just a mistake. It was one of those live TV moments you can't script, can't edit, and can't forget. Asterisk, and somehow, it made the win even bigger. Asterisk, their song, titled Luther, had just won Record of the Year, a modern hip-hop and R&B collaboration that sampled a 1982 classic duet by Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn. If This World Were Mine, it's a song built on nostalgia, respect, and legacy. Asterisk, so when Cher accidentally said Luther Vandross' name, it didn't feel random. It felt symbolic, almost poetic. When Kendrick finally reached the microphone, he didn't rush. He didn't joke it off. He leaned into the moment. "This is what music is about," he said. Luther Vandross. The crowd lost it. Not because it was funny, but because it was true. Asterisk, Kendrick slowed down, visibly emotional. He spoke about Vandross not just as an influence, but as one of his favorite artists of all time. He talked about the weight of sampling such a sacred voice, about the responsibility of touching something so timeless. Asterisk. And then he said something that hit harder than any punchline. Asterisk, when we got that clearance. Kendrick admitted, "I promise you, we damn near all dropped a tear." That's when the room shifted. Because suddenly, this wasn't about an award anymore. Asterisk was about a man whose voice still mattered decades after his last breath. Asterisk. Luther Vandross wasn't just another R&B singer. He was the soundtrack to weddings, breakups, late-night drives, and quiet moments people never talk about out loud. Born in New York City, Vandross sold over 40 million records worldwide, building a career on emotion, vulnerability, and a voice so smooth it felt personal. Asterisk, his debut album, Never Too Much, changed the sound of R&B in the early 80s. The title track alone became immortal. And over the years, songs like Here and Now and Dance with My Father turned into emotional landmarks for millions of listeners. Asterisk, Dance with My Father, released shortly before his death, would go on to win Song of the Year at the Grammys in 2004. A deeply personal track. A goodbye disguised as a song. Asterisk, behind the scenes. Vandross was fighting battles most fans never saw. Asterisk, in 2003. He suffered a debilitating stroke at home in Manhattan. His health declined rapidly. Years of struggling with diabetes, hypertension, and weight-related complications took their toll. On July 1, 2005, Luther Vandross passed away at just 54 years old. No public marriage. No tabloid drama. Just family, music, and a legacy that refused to fade. Asterisk, he left behind 2 sisters and a brother and millions of people who still associate his voice with love itself. Asterisk, artists who came after him never stopped saying his name. Beyoncé, Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, David Bowie, Donna Summer, Barbra Streisand. Asterisk some collaborated with him. Others were backed by him before the world knew who he was. Even commercials carried his voice from Mountain Dew to Burger King because when you needed warmth, trust, or romance, Luther delivered it effortlessly. Asterisk in interviews. Vandross once said his biggest inspirations were Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin, and Diana Ross. Years later, he would stand on stage next to Diana Ross herself, performing during her Return to Love tour. Full circle. So when Cher accidentally said his name on Grammy night, it wasn't just a slip of the tongue. Asterisk, it was a reminder. Asterisk, a reminder that real artists don't disappear when they die. They echo. They sample into the future. Asterisk, they live inside the work of people who grew up listening to them. Asterisk, and maybe that's why the moment felt so powerful. Because for a few seconds, Luther Vandross really did win another Grammy. Not officially, but spiritually. Asterisk. If you appreciate moments like this where music history collides with live television in the most unexpected way, make sure you stay connected. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications because stories like this don't happen every day. And when they do, you don't want to miss them. Because legends don't fade. They wait for the right moment to be remembered.